Guys, it's 7 a.m. I'm on the Oregon coast. I'm standing next to a shipwreck with one goal in mind: Northwest delicacy, razor clams. Should be a ton of fun today. I'm hooking up with my friend Dane. We're gonna hunt these bad boys down and cook them up.
We got miles to go before we reach the head of the show.
So this is Dane Osis. He's a park ranger here at Fort Stevens in Oregon, but his real passion is razor clams.
So step one is getting the clam to show. I mean, we're probably standing on razor clams right now, but you probably won't kind of see them. What you do is you stomp your feet or pound your shovel, and that vibration causes them to retract their neck down, and then you see a small hole appear.
Oh,
and there's a clam shell right there.
Oh, it just washed up. Come on, dude. I don't even think it's in there. We've been at it for an hour. This is harder than I thought. Dude, seriously? This is frustrating. I quickly realized the best way to get to these clams was to get the heck out of the way and let Dane do his thing. Oh my God. Are you like the razor clam whisperer?
He was pretty far down there.
10 minutes and a dozen clams later, it was time to move on. Are you kidding me?
That's a good one too.
Guys, that's lunch right here. But before we go cook these guys up, we gotta learn how to clean them.
So basically you take your knife and kind of run it along the edge of the shell. And so you do the same thing on the other side.
You can just peel it like
that. Yeah, kind of peel it off. You know, they want to separate out, so I just essentially separate them like that. You essentially want to take the very tip of the siphon off, and then you basically kind of want to take your knife and just kind of run up through the siphons and kind of butterfly it open. Yeah, you want to kind of wash that off. Real important to get all the sand off. The foot here, I usually just go ahead and take the knife and just kind of cut that away.
What's the milky white stuff?
That's essentially part of the gonads.
Great.
It's all good eating though.
With a bowl of cleaned up razor clams, I made a plan to meet up with Dane at the market in downtown Astoria. I tracked down Kingfisher Farms, who not only supplied beautiful basil, also a little shelter as well. I made a little makeshift kitchen, and Dane's gonna be meeting me here in about 20 minutes. It's a perfect amount of time to start cooking up a beautiful razor clam dish. And the goal with these guys today is to cook them fast. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make a clarified butter. And basically this is gonna melt down. And as it melts, the milk solids are gonna sink to the bottom, and the beautiful nectar of the butter will kind of rise to the top. And that butter on top doesn't burn. It doesn't burn as fast. So that's what we're gonna use to pan fry our razor clam. So all I'm gonna do with this, turn off my stove and put this to the side. So we're gonna make a basil salt. And what I'm gonna do is just kind of break off a couple of these leaves here. Then I'm gonna grab them and kind of give them a roll. Taking it back to college years here. Roll really nice and tight. And just kind of get in there. So all that basil kind of into a nice pestle and mortar. And then, like I said, tons of salt. Beautiful. Lemon, seafood go magic together. So I just like to take a little bit of the zest. So then all you gotta do is take your pestle and mortar and just start rubbing that in. If you could smell this, look at the color. So the next thing we're gonna start is we're gonna make an aioli. And basically all we're gonna do is separate the whites from the yolk. And look at the brightness on those eggs. And I'm just gonna start whisking. A little bit more of that beautiful basil. A little bit of salt, just to kind of break these guys down. This is like a caveman Cuisinart. And get all that basil right in with your aioli. So you just kind of start mixing that in, but this does not look like a mayonnaise or like an aioli yet. The olive oil is gonna help lighten and thicken and cut a lot of that beautiful basil. A little bit at a time, and you'll see it start thickening up. If you go too fast with the olive oil, you're gonna break it, and it's just gonna be oil with a bunch of egg yolks. And then whenever I juice a lemon, I just give it a quick kind of rub down on that board, and that helps break out the juices. You get a lot more juice this way from your lemon. Just a little bit to cut. This is gonna take our razor clam to a completely different level. Give it a little taste. so good. So we have our beautiful aioli, we have our clarified butter, a little bit of basil salt. There's only one last thing to do, and when Dane shows up, I'm putting him to the test. So I'm putting him behind the stove, seeing if he can fry up a razor clam as good as he can dig one.
Hey, Joel.
Dude! How you doing, man?
All right.
Can you break a couple eggs in here? Dump a little mound of flour out there and a little bit of panko breadcrumb. Next to you, my friend, there's a little bit of green salt. You want to add a pinch of that into each pile you just made there. Just start kind of mixing these guys up, getting that salt in there. So we're going to take our gorgeous razor clams that you helped us clean, and you just start inside the flour. Okay, so we have a nice little breaded razor clam into the egg yolk. Now the other hand, keeping it nice and wet on that side. Back in the breadcrumb, back with my dry side, and just right over the top. So let's switch sides.
Okay.
And let's do a little scoop off the top of our butter here. A little bit more basil salt over the top. The last thing to do with this guy is a little bit of our basil mayonnaise, kind of right in the middle there. And then I just grab a little bit of fresh arugula. So this is it, guys. Really quick pan-fried razor clams with a little basil aioli.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Love it?
Eating a lot of razor clams in my life. That's probably the best.
Really?
Absolutely.
Dogs running up and chasing all the little things. It's simple life, simple plans, simple things. They never spoke a word.